Salute to all the Patreon members. I want to thank you guys for your support. All the subscribers. Hey, all the new viewers, I want to thank you guys. Salute. RFG, Rent Free Gang. We in here. I have an article to you today by the BBC. There's dozens of articles talking about this. Every social media platform, every news outlet is talking about it. We're talking about the T-App security breach that happened the other day. All right. But before we get into it, guys, links are in the description box below for the Patreon page. Links are in the description box below for the Facebook page. Definitely make sure you check out that Patreon page. I have new videos being dropped on there all the time, giving guys games, showing behind the scenes images, footage, from wherever I'm at, wherever I go. And you definitely don't want to miss that Patreon page in the next 3 weeks because I'm traveling out the country. I mean, I'm always traveling out the country, but I'm really traveling out the country for vacation. Again, we're going to do it up again in Panama. We're going to spin the block in Panama. I was hesitant to spin the block again, but hey, man, it's only right. I had such a good time last time. We want to go back. You know, this time in Panama, the things that I'm going to do differently is, I think I'm going to talk more about this on the Patreon page, but the thing that I'm going to do differently on this next vacation in Panama is I'm going to do what I've been preaching, that I've been telling you guys to do for the longest. Whenever I tell you to go to Asia, right? Whenever I tell you to go to some of these other countries, is we're going to hit up Panama University. You know, we're just going to take a tour, walk around, but I'm going to look my best. I'm going to smell my best. All right. And we're just going to walk around campus. You know, we're going to walk around campus and, you know, kindly introduce ourselves, or myself, to the ladies. All right. See what the vibe is like on campus. Then we're going to go to Cafe Photos every night. All right. Might even hit up a strip club. Might even hit up some other clubs, just regular nightclubs over there. We're going to go to the Panama Canal and go to a couple spots that I didn't go to the last time, different restaurants. So stay tuned for that. Definitely on Patreon. You don't want to miss that. Links in the description box below. And I'm going to be live streaming some of this stuff on the YouTube channel, right? Or pre-recording some of these videos and uploading them to the channel. Okay. So before I get into this article, I want to tell you guys my side of well, actually, let's get into this article a little bit, and then I'm going to give you my 2 cents. So hackers steal images from women's dating app that vets men. I don't even like this title right here. Vets men. All right. A dating safety app that allows women to do background checks on men and anonymously share red flag behavior has been hacked, exposing thousands of members, images, posts, and comments. T-Dating Advice, a US-based women-only app with 1.6 million users, said there have been unauthorized access to 72,000 images submitted by women. Some included images of women holding photo identification for verification purposes, which T's own privacy policy promises are deleted immediately after authentication. None of these apps, none of these companies, none of them delete your identification when you upload them. I don't know why you believe that. Anyways, T said the breach affected members who signed up before February 2024. It added it had acted fast and was working with some of the most trusted cybersecurity experts. I didn't even know it's been around for that long. The app has recently experienced a surge in popularity as well as criticism from some who claim it is anti-men. T lets women check whether potential partners are married or registered sex offenders, as well as run reverse image search searches to protect against catfishing where people use fake online identities. But one of the most controversial aspects of T is that it allows women to share information on men they have dated to avoid red flags, but also highlight those with green flag qualities. The company said the breach photos can in no way be linked to posts with T. The firm blocks screenshots so that posts are not shared outside the app. But on Friday, it also admitted that an additional 59,000 images from the app showing posts, comments, and direct messages from over 2 years ago were accessed. T said, "We're taking every step to protect this community now and always." BBC News has contacted T for comment. The company was set up in November 2022 by Sean Cook, a software engineer who said he was inspired to create T after witnessing his mother's online dating experiences. Okay, I think there's a more deep-rooted issue here, because Sean Cook, if he designed this software, then you're of a certain age and your mother really has to be of a certain age. And, a single mother of a certain age. But anyways, however, some men and women have challenged these types of groups, claiming that they put men at risk of invasion of privacy and defamation. Earlier this year, an individual named Nico, I don't know how to say that name, took legal action against Facebook owner Meta because of a number of statements made about him in a chat group called "Are We Dating the Same Guy?" The lawsuit was thrown out by a federal judge in Illinois. That's the end of the article. There's a bunch of other articles, but that's a brief description about what happened. And now I want to give my 2 cents. Salute to Scant Dollar. All right. Here's the thing, man. I don't know why we're shocked that, there's an app out there where women expose men's privacy. And it's like now your privacy is getting exposed. Right? So you want to expose men. And let's be honest, a lot of women think on their emotions, right? They don't take accountability for the most part. I don't think I've ever met a woman who took accountability for what they did in a relationship, for the issues they caused. They never really care to put themselves in the man's shoes in a relationship. A lot of women are inconsiderate and self-centered and selfish in relationships. Some men, they do things about it, like break up with the woman. Some guys, they become emotionally disconnected to the woman while they still stay sexually active with the woman, and while they look for a better emotional connection with other women while they're still with the woman they deem is emotionally disconnected, or they feel like they're being unappreciated or disrespected in a relationship. And some guys, they just deal with it. All right. But for the guys who, let's say they break up with a woman, or it's kind of like, well, I don't want to cut her off sexually, so let me find somebody else who's more emotionally compatible and sexually compatible with me at the same time. Somebody who treats me better so I can like monkey branch from this relationship to the next relationship. Let me tell you something. Like, there are men who do that. There are women who do that. All right. The best revenge or the best way to get over an ex or a date that went wrong, or, a bad date, or, a friend of a friend, your friend's boyfriend who you felt did your friend wrong, man, the best way to move on from that, or the best way to get over that, is just to move on. Right? The best way to get over an ex is just to move on. You know what I'm saying? I don't think about people that I've dated in the past like that. Right? Yeah, they might cross my mind here and there, but I don't dwell on a lot of things like, damn, how come she couldn't do this? How come she couldn't do that? Yeah, we all have our moments. You're human. You can stop and think and say, damn, this person was dirty. They did me this way. Right? and then you move on from that. On here, I give my experiences, and I talk about the things that I've been through with women in the past. Anonymously. I don't put the images and stuff out there like that. Now on Patreon, have I shared some images on there? Yes, but I said really, really good things about these women. I think women in general probably wouldn't care. Like, okay, if you're gonna show my image or whatever, some people don't want you to say anything about him, even if it is positive, but have I shared images before? Yes, but I never shared images of anybody that I had a negative stance on. I always shared images of, women in the past in a very, very positive light. Like, hey, man, this person I dated here, very, very beautiful. Just things didn't work out, right? Um, you know, but I even then I took those photos down, right? I took those photos down, but nobody within the last, I would say the last 15 years or whatever. Nobody within the last 15 years I've ever showed their image. Usually I have their faces blurred, right? Like my Thai ex-girlfriend, I've showed pictures of her, but I never showed pictures of her face. I just showed the backside of her body, right? When I went to Panama and I did the live stream on here, I blurred out the face of some of the women that I was hanging out with, but the body was there, right? But I never doxed anybody. You know what I'm saying? I never doxed anybody's. I never put anybody's name out there, no email address, phone numbers. That's what this app is doing. This app is just one big doxing app. And then now the women who are contributing to a doxing app is now being doxed. All right. Most of the time when you're out there in the dating game, right? The guys, some of the biggest assholes or the shittiest men in the world they're always in a relationship. You ever notice that? The biggest fuck boys in the world, they always stay in a relationship. They always got a girlfriend. This man stays cheating on everybody he's ever dealt with. He stays freeloading off of women, using women, but they always got a girlfriend. But the nice guys out there, they don't have girlfriends. You notice that? The nice guys who are respectful to women, who treat women nicely, they never have a girlfriend like that. It never really lasts that long. They're always mistreated in relationship. But the biggest assholes in the world, they stay in relationships. The guys who have 4, 5 baby mamas, they stay in relationships. These are what women are attracted to. This is who they go after. So of course, women, they go after the same small pool of men for the most part. Not all, but for the most part. So they're gonna have negative things to say about a hood star. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're gonna have negative things to say about somebody who go to the bar, who's known on the scene like that, who's always at the club, the hookah lounge, and the bar, a promoter. Yeah, they're gonna have negative things to say about them. But the thing about it is what part did you play in a lot of these relationships where the men that you are uploading and exposing their address, their face, right? You're saying these things about them. What role and what part did you play in the whole entire relationship to where it ended? Right? Okay, somebody gave you a sexually transmitted disease. That's fucked up. Hopefully you had the court, the courts did something. I'm not saying all men that these women quote unquote expose are great, right? I just explained that earlier, what most women like. But okay, you got a sexually transmitted disease that's incurable. That's fucked up. Hopefully you went through the court system and you were compensated for that. But here's the thing though, where did you meet this guy? Right? What kind of lifestyle was he living? Right? Oh yeah, he was homeless. You know, he was on drugs. Had scars all over his body. You know, always drank. It's like, okay, all right. Yeah, he was in prison and this, that. Oh, okay, all right. You know, so you kind of led yourself down that path. What role did you play? What choices did you make when you were getting with some of these men? All right. I don't want to hear about, you know, oh, this is an app to make dating safer for women. Man, let me tell you something. Hold on. I got some images I want to show you guys. All right. Because what men really need this app. While you bullshitting, men really need this app, not women. All right. Women, you every man has dozens of stories of dates that went bad. That's why I really don't go on dates no more like that. Right? Dating as far as like, okay, we go out, we do this traditional thing where I go out, take you out to eat, I spend money and this, that, and there. I don't really do that, especially with American and Canadian women. Y'all don't appreciate that shit, right? We can meet up at this hotel. Well, when I'm in Canada, I'm always in a hotel. We can meet up over here. We can meet up at this park, right? We can meet up in a place where I'm not spending no money. Because are you here for the food or you here for me? Which one? Because I'm one hell of a guy. So if you're not really here for me, then you can waste somebody else's time. You can find you a simp that's still doing that traditional shit. I've heard women, you know, I've heard women what they say. Hey, that's that old shit. We don't live like that no more. You goddamn right. We don't live like that. I'm not living like that no more. Right? Dates that have gone bad, women on their phone while you're trying to talk to them. I remember one time I'm taking this chick out to eat, fine, right? And this bitch was on the phone the whole entire time, right? I didn't even finish my food. I paid for the meal. I got up and I walked over to the train. This was in Thailand. She was half black, half Thai. And she followed me all the way to the train station while she was still on her phone. And as soon as I was about to get on the train, because the train was arriving, she was like, "Ooh, okay, I'm done on the phone. What we gonna do now?" No, I'm going home. You go home, or you can go wherever you want. I'm going home. Bye. And she was confused, sad. I mean, that's rude. You're disrespecting my time, right? Then you get in some of these relationships and people move on, right? Things didn't work out. All right. You know, while we get comfortable with each other, things don't work out. All right. We break up. You know, you take the kids or whatever, you automatically gonna get the kids. Now I found me a new woman who wants to be my wife. You can't move on. Now this happens. Right? Man, Jamie Rocket was brutally gunned down execution style by his ex, Rashonda Lowe, while working at cookies and smoothie store, allegedly after he got married to another woman and moved on with his life and improved as a person. He reportedly had a restraining order on her. You don't think we need an app against y'all? Y'all don't think y'all need an app too? We don't need an app for y'all? Imagine if men had a T app like, hey, this bitch don't cook. Hey, this bitch don't clean. Her apartment dirty. She got an animal over there. She got cats. She got dogs. It smell like piss all the time over there. Grew up in a single mother household. Mama crazy. Family crazy. Like, you don't think we could have made an app against y'all a long time ago? Man, the thing is some of y'all wear y'all women, Y'all wear y'all emotions on your sleeve. We can kind of, people who've kind of been in the dating game and been around enough women, we see you from a mile away, right? Y'all don't think I've wanted to make an app like that for a long time, but it would be some sucker shit. I've shown you guys video footage of this Filipino chick I was fucking around with in Thailand, and she was sitting on the edge of the bed, and I was like, all right. I was like, hey, man, you got to go, because she disrespected me in my own spot. All right, you got to go, right? And she lived all the way by the airport. I didn't give a damn. Get the fuck out my spot. That bitch, I had her on video. I was recording her on my phone. This bitch got up and jumped on me. Jumped on my back, then reached around and grabbed this shit out of my nuts. And I screamed, immigration, immigration. And I was a trigger word. That bitch ran downstairs. I lived all the way on the 19th floor. That bitch ran down 19 flights of steps. All right. Salute to J Bones. You don't think we need an app against y'all? Look at this. Baltimore woman sentenced to 50 years after police finding bodies of 2 children in her trunk. This chick had her niece and her nephew in her trunk, right? Niece was 7, the nephew was 5. So you killed your brother or sister's kids, and they dead in your trunk, and you riding around the city with them in your trunk. You don't think we need an app for you? You don't think men need a T app for you? Because you know what they're going to do? They're going, yeah, they gave her, sentence 50 years. They're going to get her off. She probably going to be out in 10 or whatever, go right back to the streets and wreak havoc on black men some more, right? Y'all remember that news story out here in Houston when there was they was in front of like a convenience store at night, and they was on Facebook Live, and the dude, it was like his first time meeting this chick, right? But I guess it was like the guy in the back, or the people in the back of his car or whatever, they knew this chick and they brought her along. And it was like a gun. She had a gun in her hand talking crazy. And he was like, okay, man, you need to put that down. Like you need to put that down. Like you wild. And she said, what, bitch? And she squeezed the trigger and shot him in the head, and was leaking on Facebook Live. Right? I think this had to been like 2023. No. This was 2018, 2019, 2018, something like that. Remember? They only gave her like 10 years for that. He had permanent brain damage. He was in a wheelchair. Like, dude is like, he'll be handicapped for the rest of his life. He was alive though. He made it out. He's alive. But they released that bitch during COVID. So now she back out here on the streets of Houston, probably wreaking more havoc, probably had 2 more kids after that, right? You got probably 1 or 2 more baby daddies doing crazy shit. But see, the thing is, we don't need apps for that, all right? I'm a little bit more savvy and smarter than, when it comes to this dating shit, than the average woman, right? You see, women think they need this, but it's just mental masturbation, right? Hey, let's dogpile on all these men, right? Doing background checks. You can go to Google for that. You didn't need a T app, right? You can literally go to Google and find out if somebody has, a criminal background, which most of y'all don't care if a man has a criminal background. Y'all think that's sexy, right? If he's married or not. Most of y'all don't care if a man is married or not. Example, Andy Byron at the Coldplay concert. That bitch didn't care if she was married or if he was married. A lot of women don't care if men are married. Most women are more attracted to men that are married. He was wearing a ring when you met him. What are you talking about? Right? Most women are more attracted to men that are pre-selected, whether they know he's pre-selected or not. Right? Do you know how many women see, like when you single, women don't really say anything, right? It's kind of tough. You got to kind of put your bid out there to build up attraction with women, right? When you get into a relationship, I'm telling you, it's like it happens very often where women just boldly want to talk to you, want to be with you, right? They approach you, whether they know you got a girl or not. They could just sense that women like you, or man, he getting pussy somewhere. You know, when you got a ring, a lot of women are more attracted to you when you have a ring. So I don't know why they're lying on this app talking about you can look up a man to find out if he's married or not. You don't need the app for that. You don't need the app. You can do a Google search or see if their name is registered at the Justice of the Peace. Right? You can see if their name is registered in court documents if they're married. It's public information. All right. But, you know, once again, it's kind of like, you know, a lot of women are showing how slow they are. Right. But it's just mental masturbation. Let's dogpile on men. And I've always said this. I'm like, hey, look, you don't want to be on the wrong side of history with men. Right. That's the worst thing you want to do because, you know, just like that test run we had 5 years ago, a lot of women were vulnerable. See, men, it's whatever. Like we've been gearing up for this type of shit. Women, on the other hand, a lot of them were scared. They were fighting for toilet paper, right? Here's another reason why men need a T app. Look at this. Rapper Jeezy wins custody of his daughter from Jeannie Mai and purchased a Buckhead Atlanta penthouse as their new home. Here's the thing, man. This woman wanted a man who wanted to be active in his daughter's life. This woman wanted full custody, and for her to have no access, for the father not to have zero access to their own daughter, right? Which further puts on this negative stereotype that Black fathers don't want to be active in their kids' lives, right? Women, they take their kids, a lot of times they'll move out the city or they'll move out the state, sometimes even out the country, and they don't facilitate a relationship between the kids and the father, right? Acting like, okay, your father doesn't want to be around. No, your father is trying to be around. Your mother took the kid out the state, wanted full custody, didn't want to have joint custody at all, right? Luckily, man, this man has enough money to where he fought that in court, and now he's able to spend, by law, he's allowed to spend time with his daughter, right? But look at Jeannie Mai. Jeannie Mai, this is the same woman. See, Jeannie Mai, we don't need a T app for Jeannie Mai. All his shit is on social media. This is the same woman that said, hey, ladies, we need to be more submissive to our men. We need to honor our men. We need to cherish our men. We need to respect our men. And all the women on the panel gave her that disgusting ass look, right? The same woman who put her mother out there and said, yeah, my mother, she was the kind of mother that was disrespectful to my father, shitting on him all the time, disrespecting him. He just couldn't take it no more. Then he got a divorce and found a woman who actually likes him and loves him for him. While my mother, she remarried, but she's in a new relationship with a man who has like no feelings, no emotion. It's like a terrible marriage. It's just they're just married to be married, right? This was a woman said, I don't want to grow up and be like my mother. Ladies, we need to start loving our men. We need to start. Man, this woman said all that bullshit, and and the first thing she did was, soon as she got her baby, right? Soon as she got her baby, what did she do? She said, "Oh, you the baby maker. I use you for a baby. Now I'm going to take my baby." It was a COVID relationship. I'm going to take my baby and I'm going to move all the way to California, knowing that we had a home in Atlanta. Moving to California, I don't want you to see my kid. I don't want you to have custody of my kid or whatever. You don't think a woman like her needs to be on a T app if we're going to go there? So now you get into a new relationship. Oh, yes. I have, how old is the daughter now? 2, 3? Yeah, I got a 2-year-old. I got a 3-year-old. The father, he ain't shit. Yada, yada, yada. I had to fight in court, to get him to pay child support. We went through a divorce and this, that, and the third. And she's telling you her truth, right? Women love to say, this is my truth, right? There seems to be a lot of lies when it comes to women's truth. When you poke holes at a woman's story, you hear enough lies in it, right? This is why you shouldn't date single mothers, because when you speak to the father, you actually sit down with the father like, hey man, let me tell you, she's the mother of my child. I don't want to talk bad about her, but look, this is what I really went through with her, right? It was a very painful process. She made this process very, very, very stressful and painful for me and my daughter, right? And you looking like, damn, this not a bad guy. So what happened? I don't know. It's just as soon as the kid came out, she just wanted to take the kid away from me. She changed. This is that and the third. Man, come on. Like, a lot of y'all need the T app on yourselves. A lot of y'all on drugs. Either it's drugs you're on or drugs you need, right? A lot of you women had good men. You crazy as cat shit. And some guys, they just didn't put up with it. There's a lot of guys who have domestic charges, good men who got domestic charges because they dealt with a crazy bitch. But the crazy bitch is running around acting like, oh, he's abusive. He's toxic, right? Then on that website, the app, it said, yeah, there's a part of the profile where when you post up somebody's name and picture, you could put red flags on them. I'm sure the word toxic is going to be overly used. Mentally abusive, emotionally abusive is going to be overused, right? Puts me down is going to be overused, right? Then when you actually have conversations with these men, it's kind of like, yeah, I dated her, but here we are, we live in a home together, we got a kid together, and now she's not coming home till like 3:00 in the morning, missing work, right? Somebody has her car. I'm like, she doesn't want to tell me who has her car. I'm thinking it's a dude. Men go through this kind of shit. And then when you try to be a man and put your foot down and tell your lady, hey, stop all this shit, get your shit together, right? We're supposed to be married. We're supposed to be engaged. We're supposed to be parents to our kids. What do? They flip out, because it's like, it's almost as if the acting out on purpose so that you can say something, so that they can say, okay, you're mentally abusive, you're this, that, and the third, so that they can go mess around with somebody else, or they can take their kid and leave. Because that was the plan anyways. Just getting up and leaving, especially with a kid, it's kind of like, well, that's some dirtbag shit to do. But let me not look all the way like a dirtbag. All right. Let me make up some shit and say how toxic and mentally abusive this person is. let me start up something and just get about the house. Hey, we've all gone through it, right? The T app for women, every woman would be on there. People's mothers would probably be on there if we was like that. But man, look, we built a little different. We just like, hey, you know, it is what it is. Look at this. You don't think this woman deserves to be on the T app? Hold on. There's already a T app. It's called Reddit. But on Reddit, the men who talk about their divorce stories, they don't even put their wives' names out there. They don't post no pictures, nothing. They just like, hey, you know, my wife does this for a living. They don't say where she works. They just say she does this for a living. She was messing around with the boss. This, that, and the third. I found out. I hired a private investigator. Found out she'd been cheating on me for the last 3 years, right? They have some cabin home together or whatever. So I caught them. I filed for divorce. Lawyers have separated the family. The kids don't even want to talk to her no more. She lost her job. He lost her job. She has to move back in with her sister, but they never say her name. They don't post her picture. Women want to, in their minds, women like this want to talk about how toxic and abusive you are so that they can post your picture on the internet. Hold on. Look at this.
You were going to cheat on me soon. I know, because I'm an empath.
I was not going to cheat on you.
I had to cheat on you because you were literally going to cheat on me.
Sorry. Go, get out.
Close the door.
Go,
the door.
Get out. I wasn't going to cheat on you.
And now you don't believe me, so I don't trust you. And now I'm hurt and confused. So just leave.
What are you talking about? Oh my God.
Yeah, you're manipulative. So this woman got caught cheating, having sex with another man, red-handed. And what did she say?
You were going to cheat on me soon.
You were going to cheat on me anyways pretty soon. You know, I had an ex who said that to me. Not that you were going to cheat on me soon. She was like, you were going to hit me soon. I've never raised my hand on this woman. I never pushed this woman. Like, we've had arguments before. I don't have a history of putting hands on women, right? I've never put hands on women. I don't have a criminal record putting my hands on women, right? But all of a sudden, because you're disrespecting me, I'm checking the disrespect. Now you know, oh yeah. Well, so what do you want to do? You want to hit me? You want to hit me? I'm like, no, I don't. I'm too fly to hit you. What I need to hit you for? You ain't worth me hitting you. Well, you know, I know you're gonna do it eventually. Wait, what? So that bitch, I need to dox her and make an app and put her information online? No, I don't need to do that. I don't need to do that. Like, I just move on. Right? But you got women like this right here. This is the kind of woman that's posting up. See, she probably downloaded the T app, and the guy, her boyfriend, holding the camera, she's probably going to put his information on the T app and say he's so manipulative, right? I felt like he was going to cheat on me eventually, right? And I just had to get away from him. He's so toxic, this, that, and the third. Putting false misinformation out there.
You were going to cheat on me soon. I know, because I'm an empath.
I was not going to cheat on you.
I had to cheat on you because you were literally going to cheat on me.
Sorry. Go, get out.
Close the door.
Go, get out. I wasn't going to cheat on you.
And now you don't believe me, so I don't trust you.
Yeah, I knew you was going to cheat on me, so I just did it anyways. And you don't believe that I think that you were going to cheat on me, right? You don't believe me when I said I know you're going to cheat on me. So now I don't trust you because you don't believe me that you were going to cheat on me.
And now I'm hurt and confused. So just leave.
What are you talking about? Oh my God.
I don't want to get the guy.
Because you were literally.
You see, this is what's on the app. It's a bunch of women like this on the app of all races. On that app, there was over 1.3 million people who signed up for that app. 1.3 million women all over America that signed up for that app. You can't just anonymously dox people, right? And I guess they made it anonymous. That was the thing about the app. So when you post up somebody's picture, it's kind of like it's supposed to be designed to where you post them anonymously, right? Putting all their name, their information, where they live, how old he is, all his business or whatever, but you don't post yourself up there. So now people took it upon themselves to put a stop to this. I hope that app gets shut down, right? You know what? Do I believe that good women, if they even exist, do I believe that good women should live in an environment where it's like you could safely date somebody? Yeah, but you go through your father. You let your father vet through them, right? You look for good qualities in somebody, good qualities that the world deems as good quality towards the man that you're trying to get with, not the qualities that you are looking for in a man, right? Getting them from prison, motherfuckers who promoters at clubs. Out a homie, right? I haven't spoken to him in a long time, so I'll just say he's an acquaintance now, right? But I knew somebody who I used to kick it with way back in the day. This man, he was a bum, right? He was definitely a bum, but at the same time, he was going to school, but he dropped out of school. But while he was going to school, dropped out of school, university that is, he met a chick who shared an apartment with her sister, right? And he's doing what adults do every single day, not pulling out at all. He gets her pregnant, right? So he went through some shit with her, but while he was like hitting that, getting shooting gravy up in her paws, he riding around in a car, living at her spot, doing what Dusty Brothers do. All right. She picked him. She chose him. All right. Because you feel like you in total control. Now, then what happened was she found out that she was pregnant. He told her, like, hey, I don't want that motherfucker. Go do what you voted for, if you know what I mean. Go down to Planned Parenthood and do what you voted for. She didn't want to do that. She got real upset. And, he moves back. He moves back to Houston. She moves to San Antonio, right? Then the parents are like, all right, since she's pregnant or whatever, she could stay here with us at our home every once in a while, or she can live here and then y'all could raise the kid together. And then like, eventually when y'all get y'all shit together, you can move and find your own spot, right? His parents were very supportive, not really realizing that this dude didn't want to be with her at all. He didn't even want the kid, right? So eventually she keeps trying to like, he keeps trying to like, keeps telling her, I don't want to be with you, right? And she's still trying to be with this man. And I guess one day it just clicked. One day it just clicked. She went back home, put him on child support, right? And was saying how, like, damn, I forgot my thought. But before that, before she put him on child support, he was asking me like, hey, man, I don't know. Do you think I'm doing my baby mama wrong and shit like that? I'm like, man, y'all got a kid. Why don't you, if she still wants to be with you, why don't you just make that shit work before she puts you on child support? But he still dogged her out and was like, I don't want. So she put him on child support. That man struggled and was living with his parents for a long time, right? A long time. Dude could have lived on his own. Dude had his car for a long time, always asking to borrow money from people. And it's like, look, man, like, handle your handle. But the thing is like, do I feel sorry for the both of them? No, I don't feel sorry for the both of them, especially against the woman, because, you know, she tried to dox him. This was like Facebook days, MySpace days, right? She tried to dox him and put out negative shit on him. But you were fucking with a college dropout who was driving around in your car all day and didn't want to look for work, and you was giving him money, right? So I remember she got into his MySpace or whatever and changed his password to like deadbeat and shit like that, and he had to recover it. And so here's the thing, right? Women, it's kind of like, you got to understand the role you play in these situations before you get on some app trying to dox somebody, which is illegal, right? You got to understand what you did and the role you played before you go shitting on some man, or you go back out in the street hurt, right? Being here, a man is trying to build you up to be useful for him, but you still want to be useless. Now you think, okay, I'm going to show him. You're going to run to an app to shit on me and make up lies. And then you're going to run into the street, and what you're going to do, fuck a whole bunch of guys to be even more useless. Because, man, when you dig deep, like, remember on Kevin Samuels, right? Kevin Samuels, thousands, well, I don't know the exact number, but it seemed like hundreds of women called, right? Hundreds of women called into Kevin Samuels' show, and most of the stories were very embarrassing for these women, right? Most of these women, they were single mothers, and he's asking about their dating life, what caused the breakup, what caused the divorce. And it was very, very sad to hear the reasons for why these women broke up with their significant other and caused a divorce. There was no infidelity. Some of it was, but most of it, there was no infidelity. There was no abuse. There was no police report, right? Nothing. It was just, we just outgrew each other. Meaning you wanted more dicks, right? And sometimes these women calling in to Kevin Samuels' show seemed like they didn't move on well enough because they didn't really look in the mirror. Some of these men moved on, probably found a new wife, got more kids, and now these women are bitter because they didn't think, okay, damn, I thought I was with somebody dusty who I'm the best thing smoking in their life. And this man not only found another woman, but she looked better than me, and she treating him better than me. So in that, a lot of women called in upset, right? Frustrated, claiming that they raising them kids alone. No. Just to hear what women put men through, right? Breaking up the family, letting a man go for insignificant, diminutive reasons, right? Somebody might move on fast, and look what happened with the other article I showed you. This woman unalived a man because they got a divorce that she probably initiated, and then he moved on faster than her. And they don't like that, right? So I say all that to say this, man. Them hackers, they did the Lord's work. They're doing a good job, right? I hope this T app never gets back to where it's at, or where it was, right? I hope the federal government shuts down this app because, you know, men, we might go to the internet and vent, but we don't put people's information out there. Most men, I'm not saying no man has never done that, but most men don't do that. But women, for whatever reason, they find this okay, right? Where you're just gonna make your way onto an app because you went on a date with somebody, right, who probably just got out of a relationship. Her dude probably broke up with her. Now she's a serial dater, just going on dates just to reject men because she's hurt, right? You're not really looking in the mirror to see, okay, what can I do? Can't take rejection. Most women can't. Men, we get rejected all the time. I just got rejected 2 days ago. We get rejected all the time. It's nothing, right? We expect to get rejected by women, right? But women, it's like what you don't complete, you'll repeat. So when you get rejected in your 20s, in your 30s, they lash out and do shit like get on a fucking app, right? Where you telling a bunch of lies about somebody that you were probably the mentally abusive one, the verbally abusive one, you know, cheating like the video I just showed you. But no, he's a manipulator. Oh, you're so manipulative. And you don't believe that I told you that you would cheat. So now I don't believe you. It's like, wait, what? Yeah, they will dump you and get mad when you move on peacefully and don't chase. Man, let me tell you that they'll get mad. Hold on. Y'all know what I had in Panama, right? Hold on. Let me find this picture. Y'all know what I was doing in Panama? Hey. Damn, I can't find it right now. Damn, I had it in the folder. Damn, where my pictures at? Did I delete them? They might be on the other computer. That's right. Right? But here's the thing, man. They get mad when whoever dumps whoever, and then you move on, and now you in the Dominican Republic, you in Panama, you in Colombia, you in Brazil with a big booty Latina, right? You with a big booty Latina, now she mad. Right? Now she running to an app talking about, you know, oh, he ain't shit. He led me on. He's a mental abuser. This, that, and no, baby. It's like, you know, I treated you right. I want to be treated right too. Right? What do you don't think I want to be treated right too? Oh, I can't get that treatment? I can't get that treatment, huh? All right. Okay, I see what it is. Well, guess what? Man, this is what I'm on right now. The Bernstein Bears, Brother Bear means a big booty Latina. Look at the hearts in his eyes. You don't even see the whites no more. Everybody afraid for him. It's supposed to be his mother and his father. Now that's his ex. Ex mad and scared. Yeah. Now I met me a big booty Latina. And I'm having it my way. I'm having things now. Yeah. This one I'm on. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, look. My final word before I make my way up on off of here, I gotta go to I gotta go to the grocery store real quick. But let me say this, man. You know, the best way to move on is just to move on, right? Stop thinking about your ex and how they did you wrong, or you know, you broke up with somebody, you missed them, and then now they're in a relationship now. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna dox them? It's not a matter of male or female shit. Saying, "Oh man, that's some female shit right there." No, that's illegal behavior. That's a legal activity. That's doxing is it's like revenge, not revenge porn, right? But it's revenge mental masturbation, right? Doxing is getting your revenge on somebody who you feel hurt from, but you didn't have the willpower to kind of work things out with this person. You didn't have the willpower to kind of respect this person. You didn't have the sexual discipline not to cheat on this man, right? You lack sexual discipline. You lack compassion. You lack empathy. You lacked consideration. You lack this man's feelings. So either this man broke up with you. He probably like, hey, look, you know what? I'm gonna just get me another bitch. I'm gonna still stay with her, but I'm gonna get me another bitch. Since she treating me like this, she talking to me like this, you know, she disrespecting me like this. All right, she hasn't pulled sex away from me, but I'm gonna go get me another bitch, right? So, and now you're mad, and what you're gonna do is you think that you're going to expose men anonymously. No, we're gonna put you out here to see, not we as a me, right? Not we as a me, but the group, the hacking group, we're gonna put this out there and show you that this is wrong on a legal level. This is wrong, and no, you're not gonna expose us anonymously. We're gonna show who these people are, right? And what are you gonna do to hackers that trace their steps? There's nothing you could do, right? There's nothing you could do. So, I don't feel sorry for those women who uploaded their information onto that app and decided to do that to men, right? And if men did something like this, they should be hacked also. Men shouldn't dox women. Women shouldn't dox men, right? If you need to go to the extent where you got to dox somebody, then it sounds like you need to take that to criminal court. Sound like you need to call the police if it's that bad. But because you a baby mama of 3 and your third baby daddy left you, oh, he promised the world to me, he left me, this lame ass motherfucker right here. No, you shouldn't have a phone. You shouldn't have the internet. That's what you're going to utilize it for. And the Shade Room is kind of that's kind of a branch of the T app also. You know, all these black platforms, Gossip, the Shade Room, Hollywood Unlocked, where they just put people out there that expose other people. That's another form of doxing, right? But a lot of men, it's kind of like, you know, the funny thing about it is, and this is the flip side of that, is it's like you kind of make men look good when you dox them, when you try to dox them. Oh, this a bitch right here and yada, 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 fuck him. Like, look at the women who are attached to LiAngelo Ball. Well, all right, I had 2 kids with this hoe over here. Then I left her. You run to the internet talking all this shit about him. And then you get you a new girl, you get her pregnant, then you leave her. Now she running it to the internet talking shit about you. It's like, that's another form of the T app. That's not going to help. You see what I'm saying? The T app is only going to make men look even better. More women are going to want to fuck with men. And this goes back to what I said before. Guys who are shitty to women in a relationship, they're always in a relationship. They always got a girl. LiAngelo Ball, regardless of his name and who his family is, he's probably going to get back out there and get him another girl. He probably got him a girl right now. Right? So sometimes doxing people just makes them look good. It's not going to stop them from getting women anyways. You just hurt. No. How about go to church, right? Be a woman of Christ. I'm not religious, but how about you be a woman of Christ, be a woman of the cloth, right? Find you a man in a church, marry him, then have a kid, and stay with him for life. How about that? That's not trendy. That's not popular. Mentally, women, society today, it don't tell women to do that. It's like, hey, no, fuck that. You know how many dicks are out here? You know how many dicks out here? Fuck all that marriage shit. Just have your kids, run through them, you know, pick the different men that you like, that you want, have babies by them, and let the government help you out. That's the time a lot of women are on today. And then when that shit don't pan out, now it's somebody to blame other than themselves. And then what you want to do, you want to run to an app, right? You didn't shit it on over a dozen men on dates, acting uninterested. You don't want to talk. You're on your phone the whole time, right? I showed the live stream last time. That was another form of doxing, right? He did show her picture on Facebook, but I had to blur it out, right? But I used that picture to show you guys, hey, this is what men go through. This is what we go through on these dates, right? The meal looked like he spent a little bit of money. Woman acting uninterested on her phone. She picked up the phone more than her fork, he said, right? He didn't put a name out there. But I had to blur, I had to protect the, both parties involved. That's another form of doxing too. So I'm not saying men don't do it, but all across the board is bad, right? On both sides of the coin, it's bad. It's not a good look. And it should be stopped, right? But you can't go 20, 30, 40 dates with 20, 30, 40 different men. And it's like you out here for free meals and then you shitting on the men when you know these men really want something serious. They're trying to get to know you possibly for a relationship. And the thing is, it's kind of like, okay, damn, do you know how many of you these men have met? Right. And so now when you're a serial dater and all you do is just go on dates for free food in the sole purpose of shitting on men, right? Now, now you're starting to run into these men again because you're not the only one. Now you're saying, okay, damn, the guy that I really want, he don't want me. The guys that I really want, all they want is sex and I don't ever hear from them again. Yeah, because before me, I know you shitted on dozens of men, or I met dozens of women who've done this. And it's kind of like, hey, man, you turn guys into passport bros. You turn guys into savages. You turn men into fuck boys that always have a girlfriend that you claim you hate. But these men never seem to be single. Right? All right. But anyways, I'm over and I'm out. You guys be good. Links in the description box below for the Patreon page. I'll see you guys. We're going to stream tomorrow. Peace.